Dragon Ball is what you can refer to as the staple of anime. It is a legendary series, and Goku is by far the most well-known anime character there is, even more popular than hotshots like Luffy, Naruto, Ash Ketchum, Doraemon, and anyone else depending on the region you grew up in. Most everyone grew up with Goku. He is a part of our childhood. However, there are many of us who only experience a certain part of this series in their childhood and never went back to it. Or should I say, they never watched the entire thing in its chronological order. Now, if you are interested, this video is going to be about the entire chronological order of the Dragon Ball series. We won't go into too much detail about the non-canon stuff, but we will talk about the ongoing sequel called Dragon Ball Super. Well then, shall we begin? The Dragon Ball manga officially debuted on November 20th, 1984. The author Akira Toriyama was inspired by many fine pieces of literature when he started his magnum opus. He was inspired by the journey to the west to create Son Goku's character and was inspired by the epic Japanese novel named Nanso Satomi Hakukiden to create the idea of Dragon Balls. In that novel, the protagonist goes around collecting 8 Buddhist prayer beads. Toriyama loved the idea and used it as the foundation to come up with the concept of Dragon Balls. Just like that, a decades-long grand epic began. During its early days, Dragon Ball wasn't about epic, jaw-dropping power-ups and action that makes your blood boil. It was about comedy, adventure, and other random silliness. Still, by accounts, it was all well worth the experience. Some fans might even prefer the early Dragon Ball to what it is become after the Saiyans were formally introduced. The Dragon Ball continued its serialization in the year 1986. The manga finally received an anime adaptation because of its ever-blooming popularity, and this only added fuel to the already pungent popularity of this franchise. The OG Dragon Ball anime finished its broadcast in the year 1989. From start to finish, the series lasted 153 episodes. It was broadcasted in around 81 countries around the world. However, this was still the beginning. The anime had only covered the first 194 chapters of the manga. Not only was the story still in serialization, Akira Toriyama now knew that he could still do a lot more with this story. Just as the OG Dragon Ball finished releasing its final episode, Dragon Ball Z came into the scene. It picked up right from where the story left off, and as you all know, unlike the OG Dragon Ball anime, Dragon Ball Z features the story of the adult Goku as well as the other Z fighters. Goku married and had a kid with Chi-Chi. He named his son after his late grandpa, Gohan. Dragon Ball Z is where we start getting more tidbits about the world outside of Earth. The Saiyan race, Vegeta, King Kai, Frieza, and the Supreme Kai, and more. It's where the series really picks up in terms of action and hype. The simplicity and charm of the OG Dragon Ball still exists, but now that Goku is all grown up, it's no longer the main attraction. Now guys, what most people do is that they start from Dragon Ball Z, continue on, and just get done with the series after watching its final episode. What I would like to say is that if you do like this, you are gravely missing out. If you want to truly see the beauty of this grand epic and are okay with truly spending your time on the series, you definitely should watch Dragon Ball first and then proceed on to the Dragon Ball Z installment. Dragon Ball Z released its final episode, the 291st episode, on January 31st, 1996. It adapted the later 325 chapters of the manga. The manga itself released its final chapter, the 519th chapter, on May 23rd, 1995. The Dragon Ball franchise largely contributed to making the anime medium become known to the outside world. In one way or another, it changed the anime and manga world, inspired behemoths like One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, making their debut and soon came to be known as the Big Three. Dragon Ball paved the way for the modern day battle shonen. it is by far amongst the most influential pieces of fiction of the 20th century. Now, if you watch Dragon Ball Z on the television, you may recall a series called Dragon Ball Z Kai. It is essentially a remastered version of the Dragon Ball Z anime that takes out all the filler content. However, it does stop at the Cell Saga, so many people who were only watching Dragon Ball because it was on TV don't really know that the story continued on and there was an entire saga featuring adult Gohan, Goku's second son, Vegeta's son, as well as the other Z fighters. So guys, this was a brief overview of the Dragon Ball franchise. I always recommend people to start from Dragon Ball anime and then continue on to Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Z Kai, depending on whether or not they are okay with the filler content. Though if you are someone who is just in it for the thrill of the story and doesn't really need to hear Goku's Kamehameha scream every 10 episodes, you can also go with the manga. It's quite literally badass. The pacing is phenomenal and your mind instinctually realizes why it was hailed as a true classic. So that's it for the OG Dragon Ball manga and its anime adaptations. But as you all know, the Dragon Ball series still continues on, and is just as much of a hot topic as it ever was. The sequels include the fan-made Dragon Ball GT that aired for 2 years from February 1996 to November 1997. This is an anime original story that features Goku's granddaughter Pan, and a lot of other cool developments. Toriyama also helped with the character designs of some of the new characters that were introduced into the show. After Dragon Ball GT ended, fans genuinely thought that the series has finally concluded for good. The sales never stopped, and Dragon Ball's popularity never saw a bad day. But then, almost a decade and a half later, Dragon Ball came back in the year 2013 with a canon film called Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. The story of this film took place after the defeat of Majin Buu. It hyped up the franchise with the introduction of Super Saiyan God. Little did anyone know that this film would become the foundation of an actual canon Dragon Ball sequel. After the release of Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F in 2015, a sequel named Dragon Ball Super entered the scene. This story began with the retelling of the plot of films Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F, and then continued on with the story. It began serialization in June 2015. The person behind the story was still Toriyama, but this time he had an illustrator named Toyotaru help him out. Around the same time, in July 2015, Toei began airing the Dragon Ball Super anime series, which lasted for 131 episodes and ended in March 2018. The story took many unexpected yet bold turns. Some fans enjoyed it, some saw it was a cash grab, some were pissed off at what Dragon Ball franchise had become, while some were genuinely looking forward to more Dragon Ball. Luckily for them, the DBS manga was still pumping out more content every month. In December 2018, another Broly film was released and it became the highest grossing film of the entire franchise. Furthermore, in April 2022, another Dragon Ball Super film named Super Hero is scheduled to be released and fans are as hyped as ever. So guys, this was the Dragon Ball franchise. The chronological order goes like this. First you watch Dragon Ball, then Dragon Ball Z, and then Dragon Ball Super anime. After that, you can watch Dragon Ball GT. It might not be canon, but it's really good still. As for the manga, you just have to read the entire Dragon Ball and then move on to the sequel, Dragon Ball Super. It's that simple. Alright guys, what are your thoughts on this decade-long epic? Have you watched or read it at all? Are you planning on giving it a rewatch? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Press that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and leave a comment saying I subscribed and I'll personally reply to your comment. Well then, I'll see you guys on my next video.